Okay, doing this a different way. I wanted to put together something that's given me some documentation of label reading and of fat versus protein versus total number of grams of what I'm eating. So the first package we're looking at here is Simply Nature grass-fed ground beef that I can get at Aldi's for 5 something a pound. It goes up and down every now and then, but in any case, for 112 grams in the serving, it gets me 19 grams of fat. This one is going to be labeled as, let me turn it over and show you, 8515. This is the one that my adult daughter eats the most of for ground beef. I tend to seem like I do better when I'm eating ground beef that's a higher fat percentage, but my daughter does not eat any raw ground beef like I do, and she cooks it, and so of course the fat goes out and not all that fat gets consumed. So this is what we prefer to get for her. And she and I have both had the experience of just being used to grass-fed, and me for sure of feeling better on grass-fed in the past when I was doing well with my health in my 40s. So that's why I have tried to stay focused on being able to get better quality food, is because it's made a difference in the past, even though my health has not been so good lately these last few years. So that's the grass-fed that Lisa eats. Now I'm going to show you one that I don't eat very often, but I have gotten it a few times when I couldn't get the other thing that I wanted. This just happens to taste really good. So it's called Schweid & Sons, I guess. I've never had this, from anyone else talking about it. It says it's 80-20. When I go to look at grass-fed beef, this one doesn't say it's grass-fed, but when I go to look at it and I can't get any of the ones I would want, this one I buy every now and then. If I have 113 grams in a serving, I get 23 grams of fat. Animal fats definitely make a difference when I keep myself very high in fat, and as I was discussing in that last video I posted, oh my goodness, it's crazy just how high in fat I apparently need. This one right here, it's available from Publix in Florida. I do think it's good in terms of it seems more like it truly is grass-fed to me. I would not say that there's anything wrong with this company in that way. It's not the greatest quality in terms of the way they process it. There's something going on there that you get bites of some kind of really hard connective tissue. It's not bone, but it's something that's really hard in some of the bites, and that's unpleasant. But nevertheless, if I'm not going to be able to buy straight from a farmer like I was doing in my 40s, this is the one I can get at Publix when they have it in stock. And I do get the 70-30 because I do much better on that higher fat amount. Let me turn that over and show that. That is, if I have 112 grams in a serving, it's 30 grams of fat. So that's the one I really prefer more often than these others, but also it's just too expensive lately, so I have had some other stuff, like I've had some conventional lately. Doesn't taste good or feel right in the mouth at all when you're used to grass-fed, but that's the way it is with the budget and the economy being as crap as it is for beef prices. So this is just organic and not even grass-fed. I do prefer grass-fed, but I'm assuming the butters are going to say the same amount of fat regardless of that. We'll just see here. 14 grams in a serving, 11 grams of fat in that. Not surprising that that's going to be a super high percentage of it is fat. This one is a version of mostly grass-fed. I don't know if the Kerrygold butter comes from 100% grass-fed or just mostly grass-fed, but generally, years ago, there were a lot of people who really liked Kerrygold and recommended it. And it's one of the ones I can get. And I happen to have some in the house right now. So then, that is, if I get 14 grams, I get 12 grams of fat. So there you go. I did expect those would be close, and they were close, but not exactly the same. Anyway, one of the things I can eat sometimes, and I don't do it much, but I can do it some, is brie. This is available from Publix here in Central Florida. It is the version of brie I prefer. 99% of the time, if I were to buy brie, it would be this one, although I don't buy brie super often. So this one is triple cream brie, and out of 28 grams in a serving, it's 11 grams of fat. And now here is one that, unfortunately, I don't have the whole piece of packaging available any longer since this got eaten. But Supreme brand, it's not a triple cream. I'm going to turn it over and look at it. That is 30 grams in a serving and 10 grams of fat is the way that's labeled. This Supreme one's okay. I have bought it bought it at least 2 or 3 times. I like the look of the package, but I really, really prefer the triple cream brie. And since I'm always going for higher and higher fat, that's important to me too. But beyond just that one particular triple cream is really good. So again, here we have organic, but not necessarily grass-fed. I really like this option of sour cream, because of the fact that when I read the label of it, it's better than some others. So I'm going to show you this label here if I can get to it. Oh, that's not the spot. Let me move my phone around and see if I can make this do this right. Okay. Ingredients: cultured pasteurized grade A organic milk and cream. So that's what close enough to exactly what you want to see, or maybe that's exactly what you want to see. It's hard for me to say exactly with brain fog, but a lot of sour creams have thickeners in them, and I don't want extra thickeners. I don't want to eat anything that's, this type of gum or that type of gum. Those things are not great for your health if you have any gut problems or a compromised gut of some sort. And I've had digestive problems and gut problems and everything for a million years. When I was on the GAPS diet, I learned to avoid all those gums and also any other additives that are meant to thicken it or make it seem creamier than it came out naturally. If they can't make it just from the cream of the cow and some sort of should be live cultures in them, I would think, then that's not the same thing as what it ought to be. So that's why I like this particular packaging and this particular brand, is that ingredient list is good. 29 grams in a serving means it has 6 grams of fat. And I'm going to show you another sour cream because it happens to be a much cheaper option. This comes from Aldi Friendly Farms sour cream. And I looked at this the day I needed to just not spend as much money, the way the budget and the economy is. It gets down to where you have to choose to eat or not eat sometimes. So this one also said, and I was very surprised to see it, cultured cream, skim milk, and enzymes. So that's pretty good as an ingredient list, and this was not expensive. But then the 30 grams serving size has 5 grams of fat. Let me go back. I just looked at it, and of course I'm already forgetting since I have no zero memory anymore. Yeah, it's 1 gram of difference in how much fat is in there. Anyway, so that's not too bad to be able to get sour cream with a decent ingredient list at Aldi. And now I'm going to quit this pretty soon, and I'm going to go back to butter and try to eat a stick of butter or more tonight. As I was talking about in that last video, I need to apparently go even a million times higher in fat, even though I've had such a very high fat diet for such a long time. Gotta get some into me tonight. I have not done as great today. Today what I've had is that Supreme Brie and some of my let me show the package again. My 70/30 ground beef. I've had some of that today. Some days are just a lot harder for me in terms of work schedule and well, it's hard to describe. I don't want to take a long time about that today, but the way it works for me and how my day goes with work is pretty wonky sometimes. So today I'm at the end of the day going, shoot, it's better for me. I feel better if I eat other times earlier too, but now I'm just getting to this point and finally eating more tonight when I know I haven't had enough fat earlier. Anyway, that's it for this one. God bless.